Trust is one of the most basic requirements in any type of relationship, whether it's a friendship, a romantic relationship, or a family member. For this reason, in this video, I will discuss 10 characteristics of people you should never trust, according to Stoic philosophy. First and foremost, to determine if a person fits into one of these characteristics I'm about to mention, observation is necessary. However, this is relatively easy. Just analyze the person's speech and actions to get an idea of who they are and what their essence is. So making this clear, I will comment on each of these types of individuals and explain why you should not trust them. Before we begin, please check your subscription to the channel. Watch until the end because I have something special for you at the end. And as usual, don't be weak. Stay until the end. Let's move on to the first type of person, narcissists. When dealing with narcissistic individuals, the Stoics would remind us of the importance of not allowing other people's behavior to affect our inner peace. Practicing indifference towards their self-centered actions allows us to maintain our mental peace amidst their vanity. Think about it. If someone is always talking about themselves and barely cares about others, they are hardly someone you can trust, as they only have eyes for themselves and consistently prioritize their own needs. It doesn't matter who they are. You can't trust narcissistic people because they elevate their own image to be the most important thing in the world. They don't want anyone to be better or equal to them. They are the type of people who will do anything to further enhance their self-image, and this compulsive act of desiring and admiring themselves is extremely dangerous because it's impossible to know what such a person is capable of doing to maintain their desired image. Typically, they are the kind of individuals who make others take the blame for their own mistakes. Therefore, don't trust people who talk excessively about themselves and only seek to impose their opinions on others without listening to anyone else, as these individuals can harm you at any time to achieve their goals. The second type of person is the gossip. Stoicism also teaches us how to deal with gossip and hurtful words from people. Stoics emphasize the need not to give power to others' opinions about us. If someone reveals secrets or shares information about another person, it's highly likely that the same person will do the same to you, gossiping about you and your life behind your back. Believe me, it's almost certain that this kind of thing will happen when someone gossips. It's not just a habit, but an action done for pure pleasure. So don't think that just because someone is your friend, they won't tell others your secrets. Don't make that mistake. The only advantage you can get from a gossip is if you want the information to spread, because then you just need to tell the gossip, and they will do all the work for you. The third type is the person who constantly irritates you. When it comes to dealing with annoying or manipulative people, Stoicism offers us the practice of self-reflection. Instead of reacting emotionally, we can stop and think about how our own perceptions and reactions influence the situation. It's one thing when you're going through a tough time in your life and easily lose patience with someone, not because of the person, but due to the daily stress you're under. It's a completely different situation when you're calmer, but constantly get irritated around a specific person. If that person is capable of constantly annoying you, it's because they subtly provoke you by throwing ideas that confuse you and subtly feed your doubts little by little in small doses, so that you can't fully understand their emotional and psychological games. Believe me, there are people who act this way for pure pleasure. So be cautious of these subtle little games, because if the person can irritate you all the time, it's because they're poking you with gestures and words, and you don't even realize it. The fourth type is the indecisive people. As for indecisive individuals, Stoicism encourages us to focus on what we can control, our own decisions and actions. It's easy to explain why these people are not trustworthy. How can you trust someone who is always hesitating about which decision to make? If they can't even define a direction for their lives, how can you trust them? They are also entirely unpredictable because you don't know exactly what their decisions will be. Since their own personalities aren't fully formed, they are indecisive individuals, lacking a strong enough personality to act and choose the path they want to follow. To be direct on this point, Trusting an indecisive person is like trusting a child with a knife. You don't know what they'll do when you're not around. The fifth type is the two-faced individuals. Regarding people who have two faces, Stoicism would advise caution. Instead of worrying about their actions, we can focus on cultivating virtue within ourselves. You've probably had an experience like this. They are people who seem to like you but spread rumors about you behind your back, and this behavior extends to other people as well. So don't be surprised when others speak ill of you. In one moment, they're smiling and being friendly, and in the next, they're speaking negatively about you. What I recommend is that when you start noticing this kind of behavior, it's better to exit the relationship as quickly as possible. Don't miss the chance to master your emotions. Grab the self-knowledge ebook now. Click the link in the first pinned comment and unlock your true potential. The sixth type is the curious one. From a Stoic perspective, it's important to set boundaries in conversations and share information prudently. Stoics suggest keeping a distance from people with insatiable curiosity because it can lead to the disclosure of harmful information. Furthermore, this curiosity may be linked to envy. So, always be cautious about whom you share information with. After all, it's challenging to be sure that the person doesn't intend to use any of your information harmfully in the future. If someone displays constant curiosity about something, it's best to distance yourself or not trust that person. However, it's important to make something very clear. Don't confuse pleasant conversation with excessive curiosity. What I mean by this is that obviously when you're getting to know someone or talking to a friend, the person may occasionally seek a topic or try to get to know you better by asking about your life, like your work, studies, and what you're doing. That's just a normal part of a conversation. However, what you need to understand is that the curious one is the person who will ask about your life all the time, and sometimes about sensitive things. For example, the person might ask about your salary, which is already a bit strange to ask. If you decide not to answer and change the subject, later the person asks the same question again. That's what I'm referring to. This is the type of person we should be cautious about before granting our trust. So, not only can you not trust this kind of person, but if you have the opportunity, distance yourself from them. The seventh type is the person who is friends with everyone. Stoicism would remind us that we cannot control how others perceive us. Instead of seeking universal approval, Stoics emphasize the importance of cultivating authenticity. Who hasn't met someone like that, who smiles at everyone, wishes the best for everyone, hugs everyone, and says that you can always count on them? In summary, it's the famous type of person who wants to be popular, extroverted, and please everyone. I'm not saying we should judge someone just because they have these characteristics. What I want to advise is not to trust blindly because someone who smiles at everyone, tries to please everyone, and always makes promises has the sole goal of being popular. The goal of this type of person is to be the center of attention. So for him or her, you are just another one, just another number, a person who will be won over. People like this are in search of attention, living through illusions. Knowing this, it's always good to be suspicious because extroverted people who want to be excessively popular often replace anyone quickly, and you could be next. The eighth type is the one who constantly criticizes something, especially other people. Stoics would emphasize the importance of constant self-evaluation instead of spending time criticizing others. The Stoic focus is on improving ourselves and our character. If someone spends their time criticizing other people, usually through gossip, rumors, or even trying to harm someone's image, they are likely the type of person with a bad character. Think about it. If you go around speaking ill of others and wasting time on gossip, I imagine that if you are a decent person with things to do in life, like working, taking care of your own path and paying bills, you probably won't go around talking and spreading rumors about others. What I mean here is that those who overly criticize the lives of others clearly have nothing better to do and are unhappy enough to make unnecessary comments about others. Therefore, be suspicious, do not respect, And do not have consideration for this type of person, because if someone easily speaks ill of others, they can easily start speaking ill of you too. If you've made it this far, well done. Comment down below if you were trusting and respecting someone with some of these characteristics up to this point. But wait, it's not over yet. I still have 2 more types of people to show you. The 9th type is people who are always involved in many problems. Stoics encourage us to take responsibility for our decisions and emotions instead of blaming luck or circumstances. These people live with problems and intrigues, claim to have bad luck, and for them, life is just a punishment. Every day they say a new difficulty arises, and each day seems to bring a new consequence. The person is there, telling everyone they don't know what's going on, that everything is difficult. In conclusion, be cautious of this type of person. There's nothing wrong with being suspicious, because if the person is full of problems, it's not a coincidence. It's not the universe conspiring against them, but rather the person sabotaging themselves every day. They probably make poor decisions, don't learn from their mistakes, and likely don't control their own emotions. Therefore, I advise you to be suspicious of this type of individual, because if you sympathize with their sad and difficult story to the point of always wanting to help, their problem can quickly become your problem. So be cautious, because people like this who collect obstacles and dramas only have one true difficulty, in this case, themselves. And I imagine you don't want that difficulty by your side. The 10th type is people who pretend to listen to what you say. In situations where people pretend to listen, Stoicism would guide us to be assertive and, if necessary, distance ourselves from conversations that do not enrich us. You know that type of person who, when you say something and try to share an idea, responds with a simple, "Yes, I understand, that's true," and nothing more. That can be annoying and even disrespectful. The worst is when the person talks about what they want, and when it's your turn to speak, they simply pretend to listen, get distracted with their phone, or agree without really caring about what you're saying. In other words, they heard you, but they're not really listening. Let's be honest, the minimum requirement in a conversation is that the person pays attention to what you're saying. Otherwise, it's not a conversation. So if one day you're talking to someone and you realize that the person isn't paying attention, or worse, they start using their phone while you speak, clearly demonstrating that they're not listening to what you're saying, then simply stop talking. It's not worth talking to walls. If the person isn't paying attention or is just pretending, then don't waste your time. If that's the case, stand up and say you're leaving. After all, you're not obliged to spend your time with people who aren't interested in what you have to say. In summary, analyzing the different types of people who can undermine trust provides us with valuable lessons in the quest for more authentic and meaningful relationships. By incorporating Stoic teachings, we learn to maintain our inner peace, cultivate virtue, practice authenticity, and exercise self-control in challenging situations. Well, that's it for today. We've reached the end of this video, and I sincerely hope these tips are of great use to you. Don't forget that you are a crucial part of this channel, so if this video helped you think or learn something, leave a like and a comment so that more people discover the powers of Stoic wisdom. If you don't know what to comment, type "Dare Me Motivational" to let me know you made it to the end, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. Remember that every small step counts in your personal development journey. Keep moving forward toward victory. Thank you for your attention. May everyone be with the Creator.